empathetic healing. I think empathy by itself is very healing. And when we were talking about stigma, and naturally it came out from me saying, no, 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 don't label anything. Labeling, people already judge us enough, right? We are supposed to be a certain way. We are supposed to behave a certain way. Everything is expected in a certain way from us. So we are already being put by everyone else in a box. And now when we label ourselves with something, we are only making the walls of that box a little bit more stronger and limiting ourselves. So I personally believe that there's nothing that one cannot do. I mean, a wonderful example of what we just heard from Khalid earlier. There's nothing that we cannot do, provided we show empathy for ourselves first. Everyone else in the world, yes, but are we being empathetic to ourselves? Earlier on, when I was reading Aura for some people, I was telling them, how hard are you on yourself? You can see it in the colors of their aura and chakras. People are so unforgiving for themselves, to themselves. And that in itself is, I think, putting yourself in a box. So free yourself. And that's my take on empathetic healing. So if you are being empathetic to yourself, you're already allowing yourself to experience whatever the worst or the good is coming, but also move on with the experience to become something different. It can be better, it can be fantastic, it can be just an average. Doesn't matter, don't judge. Just live the experience and move on, okay? So here today, I was also asked to speak about a few other things that I represent as a brand, which is Essentia Wellbeing Center. It's a well-being center in JLT. We offer all sort of mental, physical, emotional therapies, including hypnotherapy, family constellation, regression work, chakra balancing, aura reading, also psychogeometry. So I wanted to ask you guys, what will lift your mood up right now? What do you want to hear about? Do you want to hear about geometric shapes and what it says about you? Or you want to hear about what is emotional balancing? How to be emotional intelligent or how to be emotionally balanced? Okay, cool then. So I'm going to bring this here. Give me a second. Okay. If I leave this here, can everybody see it? Can everybody see this? It's a bit tough. Okay, try. All right, so who here wants to go to the same coffee shop maybe, order a drink, and sit? And what we're going to do today, right now here, is observe and watch people. Who likes this hobby? Who does that? Yeah, any one of you has ever done? Go to a park or the airport, or go to a public place and just sit and observe people? Yeah? Sometimes, right? So today, let's experience that. Okay, we are going to observe people. And then I will come to the point. So let's imagine that we are sitting here and we all are observing as a group, sitting on one side. And then we see a person. So I'm going to describe this person, listen to it, and then tell me which shape would that person be. Okay? So, this person, let's say a man, walks in his suit with a briefcase, very sharply done hair, glasses, and goes to the counter and orders exactly what he wants, how he wants it, comes and sits on his chair and is absolutely aware of everybody watching him, sits and starts doing his work. What shape would you put that person in? Yeah? Anybody from this side wants to guess? Okay. Triangle? Okay, majority triangle, so I'll take triangle. It is a triangle. And what would give that away? What made you think it's a triangle? Very good. And why did you think it's a triangle? Beautiful. So he knows the triangles are the people who know what they want, very goal oriented, very focused in their whatever they are doing, career, right? Everything has to have a reason for them to do, right? It doesn't mean they're uptight or anything. They just value their time so much that they don't like wasting time. So they know exactly what they're going to get, what they're going to do today, very, very sharp in observing. In a second, the person knew everybody's observing him, found a place, very confident, sat, right? It's a very triangle personality. Now, let's talk about someone else. Another person walks in, and let's say it's a girl. Okay, I'm not gender characterizing anyone, but let's say it's a girl. And she comes in, oh, hey, oh my God, it's so beautiful. How's everyone? Are you okay? Hey, she goes to the counter and says, what is there in your menu? What looks good? Oh, I like this. Oh, but I also like this. Let's say, oh, the birds are okay. Let me just sit around. She goes and talks to everyone. Everybody okay? How's everyone doing? And then she finds a place and she sits. And she's still saying hi, hello, hey, waving at everyone. What personality would you put that person? What shape? Okay. Okay. Who else? She said circle, one said squiggle. Circle? Okay. So, very close to squiggle, but it's a circle. Why? Because circles are the people who are very nurturing naturally. Okay? They have the nurturing side very, very powerful within them. So whenever they go, wherever they go, they have to make sure that everything and everyone is okay. Everything is in a perfect, harmony, the birds and everything. So they are very talkative. They are not the people who will sit back and not talk to anybody. They have to talk to everybody. They have to make eye contact. If somebody makes an eye contact, they have to wave, right? This is a very nurturing, very connected circle. Now, let's talk about a third person. Let's say a gentleman walks in and he's wearing very relaxed clothing and, like hair is everywhere and carrying a few bags and has a cat in his hand and just walking around and dropping things and, oh, let's go sit there. No. That place, no. Man, let's sit here. So he puts his things everywhere and he gets attracted to everything. Oh my God, look at these balloons. Oh, no, look at this tree, and I want to touch the tree, and let's sit here, and let's sit there, and they're everywhere, full of ideas, full of life. What shape would you put them in? Okay, now this is your squiggle. So, very close to circle, but the differentiating factor in squiggle is that squiggles are very naturally creative people. They are full of ideas. They cannot be, as you see the shape, they cannot have any boundaries. They are very free-flowing. They like everything and they can gel with anything and everything at the same time. Yeah? There you go. There's one squiggle here. Very artistic, very dynamic, very, very creative in their own way. And now walks in a person who goes to the bar straight away, looks around, and asks the barman for a menu and looks at everything, asks 10 questions about what does it have, how much does it cost, why does it cost so much, oh, okay, no, this table is not clean, let me check that table, oh, this table is good because it has great view and it's a more comfortable chair, and then picks his chair and sits and makes sure that he's hiding in a way so that everybody can't see him, but he can see everyone. What shape would you fit this person in? We're done with squiggle. So that's a box. A box is a very perfect symmetry of shape, right? So all the lines are very perfectly symmetrical. The boxes don't like surprises. They are very structured in their own mind. They know everything they need to know before they make any decision. They need to have all the information in hand. Otherwise, they can't make a decision. And which is great. And we will talk about the pluses and the possible, limitations later. And the last one that we will not describe, because it's not a permanent shape, is the rectangle. Rectangle here is a transitional phase that all of us have gone through. The rectangles would be people who are more or less confused, can't make a decision. They get very, very creative and very, I would say, quick to make a decision, and they're very impulsive in that moment. They will try anything, very experimentative. That's a phase that we all go through when we go through a major change in our life. So, when we look at all these shapes, what are we trying to do, understanding the shapes? When I say emotional intelligence, I'm trying to make you understand that all of us have a prominent shape within us. And naturally, we operate out of that shape. That is where our emotions are being expressed through our actions. And similarly, everyone else is a certain shape. Now imagine a squiggle talking to a triangle. How would the conversation be? Just imagine somebody who's all over the place and the other person who's so goal-oriented, doesn't want to waste time, and squiggle cannot come to a point. Squiggle doesn't know how to have a conversation which is driven by objective, right? It's a disaster. Imagine a square talking to a circle. A circle is like, yeah, whatever makes you happy. Yeah, okay, this is fine. Oh, yeah, let's do this. And square will be like, no, tell me, how do you want to do this? No, I don't understand this. You see? A communication failure completely. So the emotional intelligence here is to understand, first of all, who you are. Because there is nothing right or wrong, nothing good or bad about being any shape. It's just our natural way to behave. And then when we understand what the shape is for the other person, hey, bingo. Now if I'm talking to a squiggle, I know they have a very little attention span. I would straight away go to the idea zone and say, hey, listen, I have an idea. You instantly get a squiggle's attention there. So you can get what you want, just making sure that you communicate in the language that they understand. This science is being created, and it's called psychogeometry. So through understanding the shapes, you understand yourself and the other person, and you can communicate despite differences. This is very, very helpful in corporates, of course, at home, families. So I have some toys there which are shaped toys, triangle, square. Even in a family, husband and wife will be like, I feel triangle today, I feel circle today. So everybody knows how to communicate with each other. I mean, there are companies like Microsoft, they too have adopted this particular science, saying it helps. It helps understand, if I'm going to my boss, if I have an idea how they perceive things or what shape they are, I can communicate better. If I have my colleagues and I understand what shape they are, I will get more work done, right? Through understanding how to communicate with them. And this is, my friend, all about emotional intelligence.